Welcome, everybody, to the NFL Presidential Address for Week 11. I cannot believe we are midway through November. I can't wait till November ends. I can't wait to get rid of this ridiculous mustache. Anyway, this is part one of the NFL Presidential Address. We're going to look at side bets for the week. Part two, we will look at total bets. I did have four sides organized for this week, but one of them was on the Cleveland game. So I have actually taken that out now that Deshaun Watson has been ruled out and out for the season. So I'm only going to be giving out three side wagers on this video. Let's get straight into it. We're going to start with the LA Chargers going into Green Bay. The line here is -3 for the LA Chargers. And let me start by saying this. I am not a fan of this Green Bay team. And frankly, I think they're crap. I don't believe in Jordan Love. I don't believe in their offense. And I think their defense is mediocre at best. Sure, okay, they're in the top half of the league in preventing points, which would really seem good if you didn't look at who they've played this year. Other than Detroit, this team has played the worst scoring teams in all of football, including the Rams, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Denver, Las Vegas, New Orleans, Atlanta, and Chicago. And to think that their record is as bad as it is playing those teams. No wonder they've only allowed 20 points per game. When they did play a team that could actually score, Detroit, they let Detroit put 34 on them. And a mediocre scoring team, they put up 24. So yes, I'm not a fan of their defense either, but their offense, well, it's way, way worse. They're in the bottom half of the league in points scored, 19.9 per game. They're in the middle of the pack in passing, only a hair over 200 yards per game. And they're not doing very good in the running game either. On top of that, they just lost to Pittsburgh by 4 and have lost 5 of their last 6 games. Many of those games, as I've pointed out already, are against bad teams. Now they face the Chargers, who, although have a bad record, they're not a bad football team. Frankly, I think they are the best value team in football right now. And I also think they're going to go on a big run. The Chargers have one single weakness on their team. They struggle to stop the pass. Well, lucky for them, Green Bay can't throw the ball. This Chargers team is just so much better than Green Bay, it's not even close. Plus, it's not like they have issues winning on the road. This season, they've already won on the road this season. They beat the Jets and Mini. Guys, this season's about to get away from the Chargers and their crappy coach's job is on the line. We're getting a small number here, as over 80% of the time, favorites that are -3, if they win the game, they cover that number. I have to believe this LA team is not going to go down without a fight. We saw them play great offensively against Detroit on Sunday. They made 3 comebacks. They showed a lot of moxie as well. This is a team that has started slow every year and then goes on a big run. We're going to play on the Chargers and against Green Bay. Take LAC -3. Guys, before we get into the next game, I want to point out my record. Last week, I gave out 8 plays, 4 sides, 4 totals. We went 6-2. The record for all daily presidential address videos this year, 67 wins, 46 losses. That's a 59% win percentage. That is unbelievable. I'm so thrilled with how this season has gone for you guys listening to this show. Also, just to make mention, I have the side and total up for Thursday Night Football over at WagerTalk.com. And I will also have a 5% play for this Sunday, and it will be an ATS bet. Guys, these ATS bets are the strongest bets I give out, period. I am 68% in NFL ATS bets in the last year and a half. That's unbelievable numbers. So make sure to get both my side and total for Thursday night and my 5% play for Sunday. Okay, let's turn our attention to the Chicago Bears going into Detroit. And yeah, we've heard Fields is going to play. The line was Chicago plus 10.5. Now it is Chicago plus 8. Well, I'm playing Detroit. I know. Who wants to lay 8 points against anyone? I do. That's me over here, the Prez. Give me the 8. 16, 17, 13. Those are the points scored by the Bears in the last 3 games. Now you'll say, yeah, that was without Fields. Yeah? Well, Fields hasn't done anything his entire career anyway. 41. That's the amount of points that the Lions put up against the Chargers last week. Let me make this easy. The Lions averaged 27 points per game. The Bears averaged 20 points per game. And that is with Fields in many of those games. I know, this is a division game. You don't want to lay those points. Well, there is no category, excluding sucking, that the Bears are even close to the Lions on. This game has blowout written all over it. I love that the Bears actually won their last game. That means they're out of bullets. You might have to go back to Walter Payton's day to find out the last time the Bears won 2 games in a row. The Lions, they're putting up a minimum of 31 points this Sunday against Justin Fields and the Bears. The Bears, they've put up more than 17 points this year once. I don't think they get over 17 in this game. I'm not going to overthink this. I'm not going to be scared of the points. This game is 34-17 written all over it. I do lean on the over in this game. I think Detroit will get almost there by themselves, but there's simply no reason to mess with a better bet, and that is the Lions -8. Now, don't get me wrong. I do feel sorry for Chicago fans, but need I remind you all that at least you have the Cubs, at least you have the Sox, at least you have the Bulls, at least you have the Blackhawks, and you have the most amazing lasagna ever put on pizza in the world. Okay, none of those things are true. Take Detroit -8. Now we turn our attention to Las Vegas Raiders playing Miami, and this analysis will be short. The line here is Las Vegas plus 13.5. A lot of money coming in on Miami right now. Guys, Miami lost 48-20 to Buffalo. The very next game, they played the Giants. They beat them by 15. Then they lost 31-17 to Philly. They came back and beat the Patriots by 14. Then they lost 21-14 to Kansas City. And now we are in that spot. After a loss and a bye, they face the Raiders. And I think we see a similar trend. And I think we see them winning by more than 2 touchdowns. I like that the Raiders have made changes, and we have seen them win 2 games in a row since then. But this is a team that will struggle to score points. And when playing the Dolphins, well, that's the key to winning. They're not going to keep the Dolphins off the scoreboard, that's for sure. I know it is these big favorites. They're not appetizing to most of you. But if you actually look at the data, home teams that are double-digit favorites are the single best bet in football over the last 10 years. There is a reason Miami is giving up so many points. I also think the bye week will really favor the Fins, and I expect them to come out absolutely flying. I really like Miami first half as well. I think they'll cover 14 by first half. The bottom line here is Miami are getting their points, and I just don't think the Raiders will be able to keep pace. 31-17 seems like the right score to me. I think the Fins win by 2 touchdowns. Take Miami -13.5 against Las Vegas Raiders. Now I know, square is all hell. The Chargers -3, Detroit -8, Miami -13.5. Hey, most of the time we give out dogs. It is what it is. Make sure to watch part 2, everybody. Make sure to buy my Thursday night football package, both the side and total, and make sure to get down on my 5% play this coming Sunday. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on part 2.